Folks, we've got a new episode of Tales of the Knife Trader with our founder, Kevin Pipes, our CEO, his son, Tyler Pipes, and Mr. Eddie Jessup, Jessup & Associates, Case and Zippo. So we've got a really cool video for you with some cool stories. Let's light it up.
Okay, so what we're here today for is called Case President's Day. It's an event that we started with Case years and years ago, and as President's Day, it's the honor of the president of our company, which I was for about 40 years. But then about 4 years ago or so, I handed the torch off to my UT graduate #1 son, and Tyler's been running the truck, so he's the president today.
Well, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it.
Yeah, no.
You tell me how much drama came with the job.
Right, yeah, no.
TC, that drama queen, I tell you what.
Right, so anyway, we're here for President's Day, but I had to have a knife to sign today, so I had a chairman of the board knife.
Yep.
And the chairman of the board is kind of my new official title, that along with pick up the trash and do all the other stuff that comes with the job. And then, of course, we've got our good friends from Case, Maury Ford.
Yes, sir.
And we've got Edward Jessup, who's been my friend for, gosh knows, 40-something.
40 plus.
40 plus years, and we celebrated Eddie's welcoming into the 70s club.
This is on video now. Oh, no.
He didn't really want to do, but we, you know.
What was it like before electricity?
Right. Well, you know, I saddled a T-Rex, and he had a Triceratops, and, you know, we used to run around. So anyway, but back to Tales of the Knife Trader. As you all know, I have just done, you know, so many different unique things, but I have done so many of these unique things with Eddie and with Mr. Ford here. And we were talking the other day, one of the very first case knives that we ever did, I was in a conversation with Eddie, and I said, Eddie, if you guys can etch case on the blade, why can't you etch something else? And he said, well, I don't know. I'll call the factory and ask them. And they said, yeah, we can etch anything you want on there. So we did some artwork, and we came up at the time with a set called the Smoky Mountain Trappers.
So is this the first time that they've ever etched anything on the blade?
Yeah, this was the first.
Other than like Razor's Edge?
Other than Razor's Edge.
For flesh only, things like that.
For flesh only and stuff like that. So we made this set called the Smoky Mountain Trappers, because Eddie called me back and said, yeah, we can do it. And we made this, and we made 600 sets. I had at the time a customer, she was collecting knives, and she was a very wealthy and very nice lady, and when I told her about this, she said, well, I'll just buy all 600 of them.
Wow.
And I'm like, no, Joyce, you can't buy 600. Let's compromise, and I'll sell you the first 100, because we want all the other case collectors to enjoy it. And this is a set that Maury...
I did. Yeah.
Tell us, Maury.
So we were actually, Kevin and Brian Wilhoit and I we get in text messages sometimes, we see something great online. Well, Brian saw this on eBay, and he texted, and Kevin said, yeah, that was the first set that we did. And I was like, well, man, I feel like I got to have it, right? Not only is it one of the first case commemoratives, but also the first Smoky commemorative. A lot of history in my career with both of those things. So I did. I probably I got a little ambitious. But, after a while, I'm like,
but he won it.
I'm too far in. I got to go. So,
So
yeah, I wasn't going to let, I don't know, $50 or 100. I don't know what it is. It's probably more than it should have been. But
hey,
that's something I wouldn't trade.
It's history. It's knife history. It's case knife history.
And Smoky knife history. So that's pretty cool.
Smoky knife history.
Yep.
So anyway, but you know, I said earlier about, you know, Eddie, come in here a little closer and swap positions. Yeah. But we talked a little bit earlier, and I think you guys filmed that, and you'll probably edit it in somewhere.
I hope so.
About, you know, how dedicated Eddie is to his job and what all he had to do to sell a pocket knife to Smoky. And so the '82 World's Fair came along, and we started doing, you know, we wanted a license for that. And so Eddie invited the licensing lady to his house, and just because she was a nice looking lady, and you know, Eddie's like, whatever I got to do to get the job done. Well, Terry came over, and Terry never left. So anyway, but it was so successful, we did 5,000 of these. Then we said, well, what else can we make 5,000 of? So we made 5,000 peanuts in pearl. They ran out of pearl, so then we went on and did an I-278, and we did, I don't know how many thousands of those, but anyway, it was such a great event, and it was just, it's part of our case knife history together, and I appreciate all the years of friendship that we've done.
The 82 World's Fair was the single biggest order that in my career I ever wrote. And what it did for Smoky and getting them started, and to what happened in the collector market as a result of it, this is a pretty special knife to talk about. And I got a 40-year marriage out of it. Thanks, Kevin.
Oh, you're welcome. And children.
And one of my best friends, Elliot.
And Elliot,
and 2 kids
Tyler's
that went
best
with
friend. Yeah.
So it's every time I see the World's Fair, I hold my wallet. But the whole project, whenever the first thing we showed was this commemorative piece, and it didn't stop with that. The thinking and the ideas that started flowing, and some of the things that we started talking about after we saw how successful the Smoky Mountain Trappers was, brought us up. I mean, this was way back. This was 43 years ago. Yeah. Then we went to the World's Fair.
World's Fair. Yeah.
So this is a lot of history between and what came between the Trappers and the 82 World's Fair were all winners.
There was Old Man in the Sea.
Well, and then correct me if I'm wrong, but really at that point in time, no one was ever really doing artwork on the blade.
No, no.
So really, that's, to your point, I mean, that's why it really started that whole generation of
commemoratives, right? And
putting things in a box and celebrating something that is important to everybody.
And we did so good with the 82 World's Fair. When 84 came along, we said, oh my goodness, it's the 84
to do
World's
it again.
Fair. And so Eddie went again, and there's the I-278 again. But wow, what a disaster. We made 1,000 each of some blue handled case knives, and this was the only one that everybody wanted, was the I-278. And I forget, we ended up taking and buffing the 84 World's Fair off, and we had all kinds of the blue dogs from the world trying to sell them, but we finally sold them all.
I was going to say, if those things were still out, they'd
I
probably
know,
go
if anybody's got a 84 World's Fair blue handle case trapper, because we did like 6 or 8 patterns.
We did.
They're rare. They're rare because almost all of them got
buffed off.
Got buffed off.
Yeah.
So, because we didn't want to pay the royalty on them.
That is silk screen.
That's silk screen.
That's silk screen. We don't even silk screen anymore.
Right.
As a matter of fact, this is a type of etch, the
deep acid etch.
The deep acid etch, which we don't do anymore either. Matter of fact, they won't let you do that anymore.
Right.
So,
but the I-278's been a timeless collectible, and then this was, when did this one was made, Eddie? That's
Bradford Centennial.
Bradford Centennial. That followed the success of a very nice set of Stag pocket knives.
Right.
And we sold out of the Stag pocket knives so quick.
kept
Everybody
going.
did. They said, well, what else can we do? And Eddie said, well, let's do an I-278. Everybody loves them.
Worked for the World's Fair, right?
Worked for the World's Fair.
One of them, anyway.
Well, it worked for the 84 too, Maury. I mean, we sold all the I-278s. It was the other stuff that we didn't. So we did that knife. And that's just a little bit of Tales of the Knife Trader knife history. It's so good to stand here with my old pal Eddie and talk about some of these things. And Maury's been part of our family for 25, 30 years.
33 years.
And of course, Tyler grew up like he always said.
You were born into it, right?
He was born into it, and
Yeah.
I always said, Dad, someday I'm going to run the
I think it's more like indentured servitude at this point.
Right. And then he's like, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what he's telling Liam, her grandson, I
Yeah.
think. So anyway, his son, who hopefully will someday come up and drive the truck too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope Elliot is
Yeah.
taking care of y'all, and Mari's
Yes.
kids are taking care of y'all just the way we
absolutely.
have.
Yeah, because it's been a great
Been a
friendship.
great friendship.
Just like Eddie
more
and
so
I's
than the
friendship, and I wish we had Elliot here, but Elliot and Tyler have developed the same kind of
Yeah,
relationship.
we had breakfast yesterday morning, in
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah,
Yep.
the same
And Elliot
kind of
brought his
relationship.
little girl,
that-
so.
Yeah, with his little
Eddie
girl
and
who
I
was
have.
drinking all the chocolate milk. I think Waffle House ran out of chocolate milk
Yeah.
that day.
Right, right.
Did he have an extra 5?
He did.
Yeah. Okay.
But he was going to deliver it in
Right.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now there is a story in the next issue of Tales of the Trade about Elliot and the 2-week story.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will
Yeah.
continue on with 2 weeks.
He learned
Just
it
one
early.
other
He
thing,
learned it
I
early.
just, I like to educate all our buyers out there, but, we buy a lot of knife collections that have been accumulated for years. But about a year ago, this is just something everybody needs to be aware of. But I bought a collection that had a Case XX knife in it, and I said, golly, I've never, ever seen nothing like that. This has to be a bootleg. So I showed it today. This is the first time Eddie and I have been up here together, and he did verify this was not a Case product.
It was. You could hold it 10 miles away, and I could tell you it wasn't a Case product.
right,
You bought a pig in a poke.
No, I didn't even figure it for nothing when I
You
bought
see
it.
how bad the
Because I
bone
just-
is.
You still overpaid for it.
And I still overpaid.
still
for it.
Hopefully you didn't pay the
But anyway, just
$48.97 extra
everybody
special
needs
price.
to be aware that when you're collecting, it's for fun and for joy, and take care of your knives. So anyway, just thank you guys for everything, and we're
Thanks
gonna.
for the
This is like
opportunity.
I said, this is opening chapter of Tales of the Knife Trader 3, because I've got a whole
Lot of
pile
stories. There's
other
lots of
stories
stories.
to come up and add
Yeah.
on to this.
this-
Yeah, you need
Is
to talk
this
about
PG?
the Zippo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for y'all to tell about the Zippo pace car.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
There's lots of it's a different story.
No,
Yeah.
we're not
Story.
going to tell about the peso,
Yeah.
the Zippo pace car.
Yeah, some
Tails.
stolen keys. So.
Yeah. So anyway, anyway, thanks so much, and this will be continued. We thank everybody for watching this great beginning of Chapter 3, Tales of the Knife Trader. So beware and be watchful.
Onward! Bye!
Live long and prosper.
Did you just pull out a microtech? Is that what I just saw?
okay. Just selling knives at Smoky are dangerous.
One of my favorite movies ever is The Gladiator. Is this The Gladiator helmet?
We're going to all say goodbye.
Okay.